cold brew got me like.
Nothing bad happened. Welcome to the show. Nothing happened. We didn't start it before. Hey, what's up? Everybody hear me?
Yeah, it's working now.
Uh-oh.
No, that's just, I'm just hearing that from Eric's end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sounding good.
Oh, good. We're good. Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Wednesday, something or other, 2021. The greatest year in human history. Everybody had a great time this year. I'm very excited. I can't wait to New Year's to recount what a great year it's been. And just like last year, everybody's going to have a great time just talking about what a year. So great to be alive for this. And we really chose the right time to be born and all the rest of it. You know, what other time in history could you watch the world's worst actor pretend to cry in a courtroom, and you normally wouldn't get to see it because there wouldn't be cameras invented, but now you get to see it. You get to see Kyle Rittenhouse, the fucking sock puppet dope hero of the right wing, cry like just the worst actor in the world. Like anyway, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I cannot believe the people that the conservatives are trying to call heroes. It's just unbelievable. They're blubbering idiots. I mean, they're the stupidest people you've ever seen in your life. They look like a piece of putty on a stick. Kyle Rittenhouse looks like a guy who, you know, Jesus put the wrong head on the wrong body with the wrong brain. You know, sometimes Jesus fucks up. Sometimes Jesus fucks up and you have to lock up one of his mistakes. And that's what you have to do with Kyle Rittenhouse. He's one of Jesus's mistakes. You're welcome. But that makes me enraged. Did you see his testimony at all, Greg?
I saw it from your Twitter feed, and I watched it, and I didn't understand what was happening.
It's just absurd.
He seemed like he was really upset in that small clip. But
he's upset he's upset
acting?
like a, yes, and he's also upset like a narcissist is upset. He's upset that he's upset that he's been hurt in some way, or that he's having to justify himself because he normally doesn't have to justify himself. Anyway, it's just something nobody needs to really see, honestly. I mean, I hope he gets convicted, but there's no reason. This is another example of this culture just displaying things for you that you just don't need to see. You don't need to see one of God's mistakes ranting and raving and his weird mother like fucking crying. It's like that stuff happens. Unfortunately, God made it so, whoever God is, I don't know if God's a fucking giant flower living in a volcano on another planet or what. But whatever this God is that made this ridiculous situation we all have to be in, especially lately with the fucking Skype and everything. Whatever God did this, sometimes he makes like gargoyle people. And they just exist, and you have to just deal with them because they shoot people and stuff like that. So when people start running around with guns and trying to be vigilantes and shooting people, and you just have to they always will exist. But just now it's like the whole world's America's Funniest Home Videos. I don't know if even anybody on here remembers America's Funniest Home Videos, but it ties in directly to the first video we're playing today, which is the antidote to watching some deranged putty head who kills people because his mom tells him he's going to grow up to be a fireman or whatever nasty narrative is at play there. And the judge is trying his best to prop this guy up because the judge sees himself in this kid. But even the judge is in trouble when he sees this kid fake blubbering. Probably, he's like, maybe I'm making a mistake trying to save this kid's ass. Meanwhile, if a black person did any of this stuff, they'd be dead already. I mean, they wouldn't have even gotten to the point where they ran around with the fucking AR-15. And that was the first thing he did. He didn't get killed for that. And then he shot a bunch of people and he didn't get killed for that. Meanwhile, fucking black people selling loose cigarettes get fucking killed. I mean, it's just a joke how much whites want to help other whites and how much they project themselves. They're all all these people in this courtroom are a bunch of putty heads. Never even said that before, but the judge looks like a glob of putty on a stick too. What a Kenosha. And they keep saying, the defense lawyer keeps saying Kenosha over and over again, like it'll help him get out of it because it's such an American sounding name. He's like, you're from Kenosha, right? And Kyle Rittenhouse is like, uh-huh. And they're like, you grew up in Kenosha, right? Your family's in Kenosha. Like that has anything to do with fucking anything. But Americans are like, that's right. He's from Kenosha. Can't put him in jail. If you say Kenosha enough times, this kid can't go to jail. They're like, what did you do for a living? He's like, I was a lifeguard. And they're like, see, there you go. You can't put this guy in jail.
SD right. Charlie said it was better in the old days when you at most see a crummy drawing of him crying for a second on the news.
That's exactly right. And then you go about your day. Plus there were jobs for courtroom sketch artists, which was one of the biggest jobs back in the day. All my relatives were courtroom sketch artists, and then they all fell on hard times. Remember that, Greg?
Yeah, we had a lot of acrylic around the house.
Yep. Remember when we went through old Uncle Stinky's stuff, and it had all his old pencils and stuff, all his old drawings of people in big fat ties and wide lapels, mustaches. He was an expert at drawing mustaches. He could draw them so fast.
And then I got a hold of a blue one, and I colored your face blue.
Yep, we had a lot of fun. See, now there's no fun. There's no courtroom sketch artists. There's barely any jobs for them. I'm going to use one of my old stand-up jokes. Man, I'll tell you what. The economy, sure is different these days. Man, in 1986, let me change it to 1978. In 1978, 40% of Americans were courtroom sketch artists. 30% were Harlem Globetrotters, and the rest were astronauts. So astronauts I got to redo, though, because now there are these asshole fake astronauts who go to the upper atmosphere wearing even more deluxe spacesuits than the old astronauts. And they're like, oh, my God, I can't believe it. What were the 3 minutes like, Mr. Bezos? I was practically weightless. I lifted out of my chair. Thanks, Mr. Bezos. I'm just excited to see what we find in the upper atmosphere where we've been a million times.
Tom Hanks did a justice on a talk show. He was saying he was invited to go up there and he rejected the offer because it was just too expensive. And then he did an imitation of the ride and how it was a stupid ride.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Hanks was busy in his sex dungeon. He just didn't want to leave.
He's like, I'm doing well, but $28 million.
Tom Hanks is a monster. Sure he is.
But it made me think that Jeff Bezos is maybe.
What's that?
It made me think that.
Eric's
Jeff
mad.
Bezos.
I said Tom Hanks was a monster. I like that. Did you say that on the show, Eric?
No.
Say it on the show. Say it on the show.
Okay. Hold on.
Just say no, because that's what Eric's like yelling in my ears. No, about fucking Tom Hanks.
Maybe I was on this.
Can you hear guys
why?
here?
Why do you think he's a monster? Is there any reason?
Yeah, because he has a huge amount of power, and everybody who has a huge amount of power is a monster. And of course, he acts like he's some kind of like and everybody just mistakenly thinks he's like his character. I bet he's at home hitting everybody. I bet everybody hides when he comes downstairs.
Is that Jeff Bezos is obviously doesn't care about space. He's just trying to make money, just like Amazon.com.
He's trying to spend money.
He's trying to make money. $28 million a ride.
Oh, eventually he wants to make money.
He is making money.
I bet you though.
Trying to charge conservatives. What you charge Will Shatner? Probably like $50 million.
The Daily Wire is probably gonna. I think you don't think they gave him a free ride? You think they milked Shatner?
Yes, he said they wanted me to pay $28 million to go.
Oh, I see. I buried the lead because I was so busy thinking about what a monster Tom Hanks is. Just to annoy people. It's like Paul Rudd, another scumbag that I have no proof. But anybody who seems that nice in the media, I just totally don't, it's like Dave Grohl. Fucking bullshit. Yeah, that's insane. Okay, so they wanted to charge Tom Hanks $28 million. Wow.
So it's Jeff just Bezos, another business. It's nothing.
I'm like the jerk. Remember the jerk?
Pioneering space. It's about making money.
Remember, thank you, Greg. This is man. This podcast would be so useless without you because I would just be going on and on about Tom Hanks in a sex dungeon while you're making an important point and I don't even know what the fuck it is. Thank God you're here to explain what your point is, because I'm so stupid. But yes, okay, that makes sense. So I feel like in The Jerk, remember in The Jerk with Steve Martin when he was a weight guesser at the carnival, and he
Right.
felt bad. He felt bad because he gave away a lot of stuff, and his boss came by and was like, who was played by who was the Jackie Mason played his boss, and he was like, "How are you doing, kid?" And he was like, "Not so good. I already gave away like 5 packs of gum and 2 pencils and whatever." He's like, "I'm doing terrible." And he's like, "No, this is you gave away 3 cents worth of crap and you took in $10." And he was like, "Oh," and then he goes, "It's a profit deal." Which is me.
Yeah.
You talking to you just now. I'm like, yeah, Tom Hanks is the worst. No. I'm trying to tell you, this isn't about space exploration. This is about making $28 million a pop for a ride.
Right.
Oh, okay. And you get to keep the suit. 28 million,
like, how'd you feel, buddy? Was it incredible?
Yeah. Was it everything you thought it would be? Are we going to stay in touch after this, or you want to come over sometimes?
I charge my brother half price.
I have a foosball table where we use real soccer players stuck on poles. You want to come over and play? It's incredible. We use real humans. We twirl them around. You don't want to come over? Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Tom Hanks. Thanks for the 28 mil. And he sees him so fast. He goes on the whole flight and he's back 11 minutes later. He's like, how was it? He's like, well, I have to say it was expensive.
Right. And that's what Tom Hanks imitated the whole flight in his chair. I think he was on Jimmy Kimmel or something. And he was like, I'll just shake for like 30 minutes and then I'll owe him $28 million.
Wow. So Tom Hanks, maybe
he's been watching your shit. I don't know.
Tom Hanks is not a monster. Tom Hanks is nice. Maybe Tom Hanks is nice. Maybe he's totally normal. Maybe he's around the house and he doesn't act like Tom Hanks at all. And he doesn't make everybody call him Mr. Hanks, including his own kids. Maybe not. Maybe he acts totally normal and he doesn't talk to the fucking orange juice in the kitchen like it's that volleyball from that island and make everybody in his family fake laugh at him.
Well, he likes
his son's a rapper.
Yeah. His other son's a druggie too, yeah. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Boy, oh boy. Well, god damn, that kid's a nut. I guess I should be more sympathetic to Tom Hanks. That kid probably keeps him in line. If he was going to be an egomaniac, that kid probably shows up and ruins everything. Comes smashing probably drives his car through the front of the house every day. Tom Hanks is like, remember when I was in that movie? Oh no, it's Chad.
What's up, Dad?
Yeah, he's like, what's up? I just started a steroid business. I'm importing it from Thailand. There's no way they could figure it out. It's a perfect system. Do you want to try some steroids? You should get on steroids. You get some different kind of parts, maybe some action parts. And like Tom Hanks is like, yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Well, you probably have to get back to the steroid warehouse. He's like, no, I can hang around for a while. Oh, okay.
What was he famous for last summer? He said like, I'm the man or something, or
he said White Boy Summer.
Oh yeah, White Boy Summer.
You can imagine what Tom Hanks was having a nice day till he read that. He's like, Tom Hanks is flipping through social media. Oh, check out Chad. What's his name? Chad?
I think so.
No. Gimlin's in the hot stork greenhouse.
Chad.
Power directors.
Hanks.
Help. Does anybody in the power directors room chat? Oh, Chet. Thank you, Miss Happy Sunshine. And thank you also, Miss Happy Sunshine, for a dynamite Advice King question this week. Please, if you get a chance, read the Advice King question, because Miss Happy Sunshine, using a different pseudonym, asked me a question about, is there a better way to support musicians than streaming their music? And I got to talk about Spotify, which I described as the hand. I got to bite the hand that doesn't feed me. That was Denise from San Francisco, says Miss Happy Sunshine. All right, I have the whole thing wrong, but anyway, go read the Advice King this week. It's I wrote itself because I'm very mad about streaming services. I mean, I'm mad about a lot of stuff. I'm mad I'm talking into a goddamn bunch of doodads rigged up on top of a snuffer doodle. That's what I call that's what I call computer equipment.
Chet
My
Hanks
mains snuffer doodle's got trouble.
spells his last name Hanx. Chet Hanks.
Yeah, what else has he got to do? Doesn't
He's
matter.
He's the
He
first
changed-
child of Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks, and Colin Hanks is his half brother.
That's too bad. I feel bad for the Hanks because you never want to have a bum kid. You got a kid and you got high hopes. Next thing you know,
He's an actor, though. He went to Northwestern, not Northeastern. And he's had a couple parts in Shameless and Empire, recurring roles.
Wonder how he got those. Probably worked his way up.
He was a member of a fraternity
Of course he was.
at
He's
Northwestern.
probably in charge of it. He's Tom Hanks' son.
He was granted, along with his parents, Greek citizenship in 2020.
Why was that? Just so they could go. Oh, so they could hide out from the pandemic.
In
Is Greece
recognition
doing
for
well?
parents' work raising awareness for the 2018 Attica wildfires. I guess they're in Greece.
Well, anyway, yeah, I just thought of him because Chad Hanks. What were we thinking about? Oh, yeah, because he keeps Tom Hanks down to earth with his antics. Every time Tom Hanks gets too big for his britches, old Chet comes to the rescue and steals his thunder. Hey, Dad, I'm taking the A out of my last name. It's just gonna be HNX. Or what is it? What's his name? Hanks? What Hanks?
Hanx.
Yeah, that's never a good sign. If your kid changes his last name to that, you better move out of the house, change your address, wear a fake mustache.
Well, Rita made a mistake by naming him Chet.
You think so?
Yeah, Chet probably formed his whole life.
Chet?
Yeah,
Is there
Chet.
something wrong? What's the matter with Chet?
Have you ever met a good Chet?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Hey, look at this. But I don't know. I mean, everyone's got some nice Chets. There's Chet from Nashville's nice guy. There's a few Chets that are pretty nice. Never met a very nice Greg, though. I see what I did. Look at that.
That's consistent then, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm just like the rest of them.
I don't even know what's happening now. But look at like your background, Greg. Is that Rocky the cat? Or is that some other cat?
Yep. Rocky's actually watching the show in the chat room.
Oh, that's Alicia. Yeah, Alicia's here. Okay. This is Stumptown cold brew. Very bad product. Very, very bad. Never works, and it tastes terrible. I'm just kidding. It's actually good. Stumptown, if you send me some goddamn cold brew for once, I'd say it was good. But instead, you insist on letting your sales plummet because I keep saying it's bad. So send me some fucking cold brew. So anyway, this sucks. Stumptown sucks.
Brew got me like.
Okay, so this is it.
Miss Happy Sunshine says Chet makes me think of Chet from Weird Science. That's a good comment.
Well, yeah, that particular Chet reminds me of Chet from Weird Science. He has that kind of a vibe. Yeah, and that was weird. Bill Paxton, that's right. Yeah, he was very convincing in that part. And he also you don't even really recognize him. I didn't, it's like kind of like you don't recognize him as that guy. And same thing with him. He played that crazy guy who shot himself in Full Metal Jacket, and that was also him. So this guy's flexible. All right, so we're gonna do something real fun now. We're gonna watch. I don't know if you guys in the chat room here are old enough to remember this, but back a long time ago, funny YouTube videos before YouTube was invented. He passed them around on fucking VHS tapes. And so like in the 90s, someone gave me a tape of like coveted strange videos. And this was kind of like the most legendary. It was like a viral video, but it was viral by hand. And I know a lot of you will have seen it, but it's still so good. And it's very appropriate that Greg has a picture of a cat behind him. And it's very appropriate that Alicia Seabury is in the chat because Alicia adopted the cat that's in the picture with Greg. And so anyway, this is if many of you may have seen this, but it's still fucking funny. This is Pinky the cat, and it's one of the first viral videos.
Pinky. Hi, this is Pinky.
Start again. Hold on. Go.
This is Pinky. He's a male cat, domestic short hair. He's available for adoption. He's pet of the week, Placer County Animal Shelter. He's a very loving cat.
Hang on to us, please. Oh, yeah. Pinky.
Pinky.
Pinky. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, we got a wildcat on our hands. Pinky, settle down, bud. Careful, Cole. Careful. Why don't I get a catch pole? Somebody got a catch pole.
It's like he's a fish.
Just set it over.
It gets so much worse.
Get a catch pole.
Catch off over to get him.
Yeah, because I'm not going to grab him. Oh, dude.
Watch it, he's caught up in there. Just disconnected from the deck. You got him back?
Excuse my language.
Oh, he bit the guy's inner thigh.
Yeah, he wound around the guy's leg like a vine. Like he twisted around his leg like a boa constrictor and sunk his teeth into either his upper leg or his balls. Whatever it was, it's one of the worst things that probably has ever happened to this guy in his whole life, besides his divorce. And it's caught on tape. And the fact that he was originally trying to get this cat to be adopted, I mean, it doesn't get any better. Pet of the week. Pet of the week is
Yeah, but you know, if you put a cat on a leash, that's going to happen with every cat.
not quite though. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you could put a leash on a bunch of cats, they might not like it, but they don't necessarily climb your leg like a goddamn boa constrictor.
Well,
I mean that.
the guy didn't do any protective maintenance there. He kept letting him like go in between his legs, and
Well,
he
first
was
the cat.
asking for it.
You think so? Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, he should have held him out a little bit. He was like,
Well, I
"I'm not
don't
gonna
know.
touch
All
him.
I know
I'm
is
just gonna
the
let him
cat-
walk between my legs."
For you guys watching the show or listening to the show without seeing the video, the cat during the silent part of the video is basically like a blur that the camera can't even see. It's like twisting at such a high rate. It's so upset about being on the leash that you just see like this blurry ball. It's like flipping out. It's just, I don't know if it doesn't like the guy. I don't think it doesn't want to be on its lap. I mean, it's basically like a feral cat, I think, that they somehow misread. But I mean, this cat responds as if you try and pat a feral cat sometime, or put a feral cat on a leash. I mean, this is what happens. This is not. I mean, this is okay. We're watching it again right now. The cat is like flipping out so bad it just looks like you can't. It looks like a whirling dervish or like a Tasmanian devil in a cartoon. And then this woman comes in and tries to put a box on him, which isn't going to help anything. This cat is clearly beyond boxing. You can't just put a box on a person who's this upset. This is a person, but I mean, like the cat is in a zone right now. He's not ready to be put in a box. And then the guy spreads his legs, but I don't think he's doing that on purpose, but he should have thought twice, man. God. And then he starts winding up. And that's why I think he's up there. Yeah. I guess he gets the back of his thigh. I liked it, but he's hanging on to he's basically, the cat was like temporarily in the air, hanging from just his teeth from the guy's thigh.
I thought
that's-
the guy was going to snap his neck and the cat would drop dead.
That would have been the best ending. I mean, no offense to the animal people in the video, but or in the chat, but yeah, I mean the only way this video could be more horrific is if he had killed the cat on camera,
I didn't see that cat coming off.
or if he shot him, if he had a gun. Because he looks like a policeman. He's not a policeman. He's like an animal control guy. The guy's a nice guy. He's trying to do a favor to this fucking cat and find him a home, and the cat's like, "Not today, buddy."
Well, when I tried to put a leash on a cat, a similar thing happened. Except he didn't wrap himself around my thigh.
Look at those 1990s, like the woman's wearing hose. She's wearing, like,
I don't know what
pantyhose.
cat likes to have a leash put on them. Does anyone in the chat room know about a leash that's ever been on a cat?
Do any women still wear pantyhose? Like the kind that comes in an egg? Remember that kind of pantyhose that they sold at supermarkets on that turning thing that was called legs, L''EGGS, legs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but do you think there's no women who wear stockings now except for maybe like pantyhose. Stockings maybe, but pantyhose, like nude colored pantyhose, like they probably wear it in Utah maybe. I bet Mormons still wear it.
People wear yoga pants instead now.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems crazy. So anyway, just see this woman come into the frame wearing nude hose, trying to put a box on this cat. But not today. You're in the world's most famous cat video, turns out. So anyway, I just thought that'd be fun to watch because that was one of the first viral videos I ever saw. And man, it wasn't a viral video. It was just a video people traded. And man, oh man, it was like a heavy metal parking lot or something. It'd be on the same tape as that,
Or the our Winnebago man.
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff. So
that's older than this one though. This is what, 10 years old or something?
oh god, longer than that because that's like 90s. That's like early 90s. Probably got popular in the mid 90s. Look at this guy. He's got tattoos all over him. Merchant Marine kind of guy. He's like military tattoos. Trying to like change his life. He's probably choking people on Merchant Marine vessels. Drunk on gin. Now he's trying to like reinvent himself as a cat wrangler. That cat's lucky. Guy with tattoos like that, he'll kill a cat in 2 seconds. Snap it like a twig. Guy's like, that cat's lucky. He's a good thing I stopped drinking because I would have snapped that cat like a twig. Would you stop saying that?
I didn't see any way out except for a swift death.
Did he have to you think he had to get a rabies shot after that? Or was that just a rage? Like, I think it's just rage. I don't think it's rabies. I think it's just rage. It's kind of funny when animals direct rage. Like, you know what I mean? Like the cat is just like, well, he's still holding the rope. That's the problem. He should have let go of the rope. He should have said the pet of the week now is free.
Seaberry says, I think it's just a slip lead. If so, they almost choked the poor cat out.
Oh. Well, whatever happens, if a cat gets that upset about being put on a rope, you might want to just say, be free. And, he should have dropped the whole thing. They should have been like, well, that's a bum. That cat gets to be loose for life.
I don't know. I'm with the cat. I think no cat should have a leash on it at any time.
No, it's a crazy thing to do. And that's just yes.
Especially when you're trying to give it a home. This is once again, the man was at fault.
Yes. Toxic masculinity.
Yeah. Where's that
right.
leash? Let's put the leash on. Come on.
Right.
The woman was probably like, what are you, crazy? We're not going to use the leash. Oh, yeah, we're going to use
Oh, we can leash him down. I've done this with Canadian geese. Oh, you think a cat's trouble? Get out of here. I put a leash on a goddamn. You ever tried to put a leash on a kill? I can't think of an animal that's good. You ever tried to put a leash
Canadian on goose? That's all you need to say.
All right. Back in the Merchant Marine, we used to put saddles on killer whales. Don't talk to me. Leash on a cat. I could do that in my sleep. Where'd that lady? Okay, another question. Where did that lady get that box?
That's a cat.
That was
box,
pretty
I think.
fast. Oh, you think it was?
Yeah.
Looked like a fruit box. She saw what was happening. She ran to a supermarket right away. As soon as she saw him like doing the twist on that leash. But the best part of that video is the silent whirring of the cat. Like that part where if you're listening at home, where the cat is twisting so fast that it just sounds, you can kind of hear it going like, like that's the cat like twisting on the fucking. You can just hear like, it's like a swirling cat. Okay, well that's the first video. You guys happy? Oh, okay. Cat carrier for poor people, says Dog Greg Dugadegan. Yeah, okay. I just thought it looked like a fruit box. I thought she had a banana box with her for no reason. I thought she ran to her minivan as fast as possible, wearing her flats and her nude hose, and whipped out a box. Like
yeah,
the
she slid
Annie
open her
Oakley.
minivan,
Annie Oakley of boxes.
and she slid open the door of her minivan to get the banana box that she
Yep.
reconfigured quickly.
Too bad the toxically masculine guy says, I can handle it. Oh, I'll handle it. Oh, no, don't worry. I'll get him to calm down. Ah!
God damn it!
I just realized my landlord's brother-in-law lives upstairs. I just did that scream. I said, come downstairs. He doesn't care.
That cat has fangs. I didn't think he was going to use them.
Yeah,
For Christ's sake!
it's a bad cat. That's what he said
Actually,
after.
Joe, you were just trying to strangle the cat out. Did you know you were
It's a
doing
bad
that?
apple. I can see him anyway. I can spot him anywhere. It's a bad apple. That's a cat you don't want anywhere near you. That cat's got the devil in it. What?
I canceled my goddamn fishing trip for this.
Jesus Christ. Destroy the tape. My friends from the Merchant Marine see this. I'll never hear the end of it. At least it could have been a dog. All right. So that was the first video, and you're watching Cold Brew Got Me Like It's Wednesday.
Cold
Something or
Brew
other,
Got
something
Me
or other.
Like.
11/10/2021. I am performing this Sunday, the 14th, at Club TG in Los Angeles. So if you happen to be in Los Angeles or just a short plane ride away, come on out. See me this Sunday. First act is on at 9 p.m. and then I'm on at 10 p.m. and it's free. So you have no excuse. You can spend the money on the plane ticket.
Yeah, you can fly out there for $58 on Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, come on. You can stay at my house. You can drink cold brew and slap the bass all night long. I don't really have a bass. Okay, so that was the first video. Now we're back to the show. This show is moving this time. And we are going to watch. Last week, if you tuned in, there was a man called New England Wildlife and More, which is it's a YouTube channel. I find the guy to be endearing. He opens old food from like 50, 60 years ago, and then he marvels at the fact that that I don't know, he's always like, the can hissed. He loves it when the can hisses. He's always like, that's like a big moment in his videos. And his YouTube channel is way, way more popular than this show. And most of his content is just whether or not an old can hisses when you open it. And he gets pretty excited when it hisses, but he never, it's just pure excitement. Like the same way it would be if you saw an animal in the forest. That's his excitement about the hiss. Because I was waiting when I first watched the videos, I thought he was going to tell me something about the hiss. He doesn't. He's just like, it hissed. So he opens these old cans and sometimes they hiss and sometimes they don't. And usually, he says, it didn't hiss.
Well, that's the sound of time, right? The hiss.
I don't know. Or else it's sound of a firm seal on the can. Excuse me, I'm like drooling.
That's 30 years of time. That's what time sounds like.
I think also he thinks sometimes it's spoiled. Like it might be like gas from spoiling food. But sometimes he acts like it's good and sometimes he acts like it's bad. It's hard to tell. The guy's marches to the beat of his own drummer, because you'll understand he doesn't just open the cans, he then tastes the stuff.
Always?
And not always, but he tastes things that could be dangerous. I mean, he tastes things that, well, I mean, he's tasted so many things that should be dangerous that maybe there's no such thing as a dangerous thing that comes out of a can, but you just, as long as it's food.
What about botulism?
That's what I always grew up thinking about. Like, when we were kids, like parents talked about like a few things. They talked about making sure pork was cooked enough because you get trichinosis, or you talk about botulism if the can has a dent in it. But this guy throws botulism out the window. He's eating out of dented cans all day long, and not just dented cans, but dented cans from 1930. So
Botulism. I'm going to look it up.
And he just takes a taste, and he'll be like, ugh, or else he'll be like, it's not bad. But then he pulls out the microscope. But like some of his observations are, not scientific at all. Like they're just like, ooh, it hissed, or like gross. Like he'll be like, tastes gross, tastes okay. Like not scientific. But then he busts out the microscope and looks at it. But then when he looks through the microscope, he just says, I wonder what those things are. So he's just an interesting guy.
Botulism is a deadly food poisoning. Botulinum bacteria may find incorrectly or minimally processed canned foods a good place to grow and produce the toxin. Low acid vegetables such as green beans, corn, beets, peas, which may have picked up C. botulinum, are at risk.
But what happens? But what happens if you get it?
It's deadly. It's deadly food poisoning.
But does it say how it develops?
It's just a bacteria that would get in the can.
Okay. So I don't understand how this guy knows. He doesn't seem like he knows much about science, but he still is fearlessly tasting. I mean, he does fun stuff too. Like he finds some old Kool-Aid mix from 1960 and makes Kool-Aid out of it. I mean, we can watch more of this guy. I mean, he does a lot.
This guy's a daredevil. That's why you like him.
I guess so, yeah. But he has a very like sort of soft approach to it. He doesn't like, he doesn't put on a cape or anything. He just waits till
I'm about to taste the food.
He just waits till
one episode. He's just gonna like keel over.
He doesn't need a ramp though. He just needs to wait until his mom isn't home. That's the way I always feel about him. I feel like he's like when his mom leaves the house is when he makes these videos. And when she comes home, she sees like cream corn on his like beard, and she's like, "You haven't been doing that again, have you?" And he's like, No. She's like, "You weren't eating old cream corn from like 1940 again, were you?" She's like, I'm not gonna have to take away your allowance. You're not spending it on those old cans, are you? And he's like, No. So anyway, this week's video is him. Last week we showed him pulling of some dried bread out of it. It was just not a great clip. I mean, it was
rehydrating it. Yeah.
He was rehydrating some old bread that apparently bread came in a can during the Depression or something. And he pulled out some bread out of a bread can, and it was spoiled. It was like very badly spoiled, but he still like ran hot water on it and tried to rehydrate it. And then he was like, "This is gross." And then that was the end of the video. So, and then he showed him blocking up his drain with the. Anyway, it was not a great example of this guy's work. So this is a better one. This is probably one of the first ones I saw of him, and it was him eating cream corn from a very long time ago. And I just love how unscientific he is. And I also, I just think it's, maybe we're wasting a lot of food. We could be eating old food, who knows? Maybe everybody's just wasting time. We should be eating old cans of food and not wasting our time going to Trader Joe's and stuff.
I got a little bit more information about botulism.
Okay.
It says they're rod-shaped under the microscope. They grow best in anaerobic absence of oxygen conditions. Since the canning process forces air out of the food, the bacteria may find incorrectly or minimally processed canned foods a good place to grow and produce the toxin.
Oh, incorrectly processed. Interesting.
Or incorrectly or minimally processed canned foods. And then low-acid vegetables such as green beans, corn, beets could have gotten the botulinum spores from the soil, and they're more at risk. So canned vegetables are more at risk for botulism.
Has anyone in the chat room gotten botulism before?
They wouldn't be alive, I don't think.
Well, like some people might have gotten to the hospital in time and had them pump their antique food out of their stomach. Have you been eating old food again? This guy probably goes to the hospital all the time. He's like, yeah, but it was just cotton candy. My friend was digging up his backyard to put it in a pool, and it turned out a carnival used to be there. And they found an old cotton candy machine that still had some mix in it. So he made cotton candy and we ate it. It was cotton candy from the 1920s. And then I got very sick. And they're like, yeah, we see you every week. You got botulism again from cotton candy this time. And he's like, oh boy.
Who's that?
His mom picks him up at the hospital and he gets punished and he doesn't get his allowance. And then he can't buy any old cans.
Who's that serial killer? Gacy.
This guy would be so sad that he's being compared to a serial killer. I think he thinks what he does is valuable work or like at least charming.
Maybe that's what botulism was, what caused Gacy to kill people. He was in the house eating too much canned food.
Did he eat a lot of canned food?
I can just imagine. That guy didn't have any fresh food at all.
You don't think so?
No.
John Wayne Gacy?
No, I don't see it. I saw an interview with him the other day.
Yeah, but he was a chef.
He was?
Yes, he was a prison chef. There's a famous interview with him in the prison. He was making a turkey for all the people at the prison. He was like, and he was apparently very charming. I mean, he was charming in a way that police officers like. I doubt that I would think he was charming. You know, but police officers are like, he was totally cool. He talked about horse racing and how much he hated women. You know what I mean? They're like, he was totally normal.
Hey, I didn't mean to get off tangent.
Oh, no, okay.
Botulism causing a serial murderer. I thought that was an interesting concept.
Okay, so botulism. Well, yeah, it could. I mean, I don't know what serial murder. I've never heard. It's not on the Wikipedia, is it?
No, I just made it.
Okay. So, someone mentioned that botulism, which I forgot, is part of fucking Botox. Now, how did that happen? I wonder. I mean, I don't want to really know. No one tell me how, but you know, it's kind of funny. Like, who injected botulism into their head and found out it got rid of wrinkles? Probably John Wayne Gacy. That seems like something he would do. Or he probably injected into someone else's forehead. Oh, fuck. Guess what, buddy? Well, you're dead.
That corpse looks
yeah, I guess there's no one I can tell, but I just discovered something really interesting.
This guy who you nicely introduced and not distracted from it, he has the hands.
That's okay. Now we're talking about murderers smoothing out corpses' wrinkles. Same stuff.
The last video, I noticed his hands look like a working man's hands, like a mechanic or something.
You mean because his fingernails were dirty? Because he has dirty fingernails all the time.
He's got those thick fingers that a mechanic have.
I guess so. I picture him like eating milk duds.
Okay.
And that's milk dud coating under his nails. So all right, so we're gonna watch now New England Wildlife and More, who I never get tired of saying that the name of his channel should definitely be Eating Old Food and More, not New England. It's like it's 90% eating old food, 10% wildlife, but he chooses probably wisely to call it New England Wildlife and More.
Hey everyone, today I have a can of corn that was packaged back in 1943. This can has a lot of pressure inside. Both ends of the can are very bulged.
Why say enge? Both ends of the can are very bulged.
Shake it up. It's still liquidy inside. It's under extreme pressure. You can't push in anywhere on this can. So I'm going to release the pressure very slowly when I open this thing up. I'm very curious to see what it looks like inside after 75 years.
See, he's kind of childlike. He said it's liquidy inside.
Yeah, he sounds like corn.
He's like Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump.
It's been stamped a whole bunch of times to say corn.
Yeah, he tells you a bunch of stuff like that, and he has whatever part of the country he's from. I guess New England, because it's New England Wildlife and More.
Still clear the juice.
There's like one of the. He says like after at the end of the word, if it has a consonant, he has like a. You know how preachers say like, "And the Lord."
Okay, we're gonna open up this can of corn now.
You know, like to pray. He says like, He says like
Okay, I got some safety glasses on because you don't want to get this juice in your eyes or anything, because this is some toxic stuff. This is
So,
unplugged. I just
you know,
want to pop it before I open this thing up.
he says like sometimes
There's a
he'll
lot
say
of
like the
pressure in there.
can says he has a lot of like that, like, you know, Jesus, he has an at the end of certain things. I don't know what accent that is. I'm assuming
gotta
New
be turning,
Hampshire is
actually,
what I
to
think. I
pierce
think he's
it.
from New Hampshire or something.
Well, it sounds like you know, autism, really.
Whoa,
No,
what is this
you think-
can
I don't
made of?
think
It doesn't
so.
want
You
to go
think
through
so?
it.
A little bit.
Oh, I don't want it. No, I don't. I think. Well, I think he might just be. Well, I mean, even if he is autistic, it doesn't mean he's not entitled to have a TV show. Whatever it is, I like it, and I think he seems like a nice guy. And I'm not saying that you think that people with
Can't open
autism
them,
are
won't go
not
through
nice.
it.
Jesus, God damn it!
I try the other
Fuck this
side.
world. Oh God. So, anyways,
That was
Juice.
huge.
Juica. Yeah, he'll say like Juica. So anyway, I think his mom's not home.
It
That's what I
doesn't
always
smell
think when
bad,
I'm watching him
actually.
do this. So people listening to the
Take the
podcast,
mask
there's
off.
this man opening this thing.
I
It looks
thought that
like
was
a
going to
can
spray
of
across the room. It
maybe
just
the
released
Bel-
a lot of air. Just a lot
maybe
of
the
air.
Belgian army. It looks like it's like
Actually, the
it's got
whole
military
room now smells
green.
fruity, like the corn is fermenting in there. Doesn't smell
He
bad at
puts-
all. It actually
he has-
smells awesome.
All right, let's listen
Let's
to him. Let's listen to him for a
complete
little while. He loves using that can opener.
See how much trouble the can opener's having?
He loves that. Like, that's not bad. He likes it when it has trouble.
Actually smells
Ugh.
good.
See, like, he's really, that's what keeps these things action packed, because he changes
That's
gears a
cream
lot.
corn. I thought it was going to be actual whole pieces of corn.
It's not clear if he's disappointed by that or he's happy, which I like. He's a hard guy to read. Like, is he mad it's not regular corn,
I
or
don't
is he
think I can
happy
do a lead
about it?
test on this.
He's gonna
I
do a
don't think
lead
it's
test with
clear
like a
enough.
strip
Yeah,
that
you
you
see
stick
how it's
into a
like
pool
avoiding
to
it?
see if it has enough chlorine. He's got these strips that he
Possible.
sticks in
I
things to
think
see how
it'll
much.
work.
But I never
the debris
believe.
off it,
Okay,
but I
I
got 'em
never
all wet.
believe. Just pause it real quick,
Yeah,
Eric,
it's
if you
gonna
would.
work. I can see him changing colors.
Like, I don't believe. Just to pause it real quick. Sorry, thank you, Eric. I don't believe that this. Like, he always sticks these. Like, when me and Greg grew up, we had an above ground pool, and my mom used to use these strips to test the pH in the water. And he sticks this in corn, and I just don't know if you can just do that. I don't know if you can just take like a thing that can detect the pH of water. I don't know if you can just stick it into a 1930s corn can and find out how much lead is in it, but he thinks you can. I mean, a lot of his methods are not convincing to me. Like, he'll look at it under a microscope, and he sort of takes guesses at what the thing is. And then he sticks this pool strip in here, or he sticks this pH strip or whatever it is. And then he says, oh, there's so much lead in it or whatever. Whatever the results are, though, he usually still ends up eating it, which I think is, strange. Okay.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
testing it for botulism.
He's testing it for, I don't know whatever it is, or else he's just creating content. I mean, this guy's also a content creator. This is the definition of content. This is modern entertainment. The more time you can take up, the better. So he probably just does this because he probably has like a manager. He's like, listen, you're doing a great job, kid, but you might want to use the test strips because that bulks out the videos.
Yeah.
Like, social media is a very strange. He probably has like a whole management team. He's probably managed by William Morris or something.
Or it could be the team that was behind Bob Ross that ripped him off.
One time I went to Bob Ross.
Yeah, the painter.
What does that mean? Oh, like Bob Ross died and they were like, well, we got this old food guy.
Well, no, the Bob Ross, there was a team that made him as big as he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I never even really thought about how that Bob Ross, I thought Bob Ross like came out of the atmosphere. I didn't even think about them having to set up a camera to get that guy on.
He worked his ass off, Bob Ross.
Okay, I didn't really think about that. He was like an early influencer.
Oh, yeah.
He was like the Kim Kardashian of 1982. Kanye West is like, I'm going out with Bob Ross. Our
chat room is not very talkative about the cream corn.
It's okay. We don't need to. Let's tell. There's people listening. You can't see the chat rooms. Let's tell them the chat room's going crazy, Greg.
Oh,
yeah, the chat room's going berserk. If the chat room was a can of corn, it would. If you opened it, there'd be a big hiss. So anyway, well, are you thinking maybe the chat room broke?
No.
Okay. I love using old terminology on new stuff. Do you think the chat room broke? Like,
is this guy going to actually taste the cream corn? In this
yeah,
thing?
he eventually does, but it's like, it's a pretty big video because his manager told him to bulk it out. His manager said, listen, man, these things are too short. You can't just get right to the tasting. Everyone's waiting for the tasting, but you got to stick in strips. He's like, strips aren't going to work in corn. They work in water. He's like, it doesn't matter. Do you understand what year it is, kid? It's 2021. People just want to see things happen. It doesn't matter if they make any sense or whether they work or anything. And he's like, oh, okay, it's a profit deal. So, yeah, so this guy, I can't even remember what I was thinking about before, but I was going to say something that I can't remember. So let's watch this guy talk more. Oh, the chat room is not broken. There's somebody talking in it. It means routine. Oh, I love this dude. Okay. Alicia Seabury wants to marry oh, that's what I was thinking about. Okay. So in the modern world, like in 2013, which is like 8 years ago, I went to Bonnaroo and I ended up one of the people in the band that my friend was in was engaged to one of the Bonnaroo owners. So I got to go to the Radiohead after party with like 50 people. And it was Tom York DJing and Ryan Reynolds was there and Flea was there and they were just all dancing around and very small crowd, and they were all like celebrity type people because you had to get a super special pass to be there. And Aziz Ansari looked like he got dropped off by a bus or something because he was just wandering around. No one was talking to him. His manager probably just got him a pass. The Aziz Ansari was just wandering around. And Ryan Reynolds was doing wacky dances and trying to see if anyone was paying attention. I was watching because I was sober and they were all fucked up on it. It looked like ecstasy or something. They all had like glassy eyes. And I was recently sober. So I was just smoking cigarettes standing next to the security guard. And we were both like, these people are insane. And he was like, he really was. He was like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, I was hired for this thing. He's like, I don't know what these people are about. I don't think the security guard had any idea who any of them were, which was awesome. So anyway, I think in the future, it's going to be like Kim Kardashian and Dr. Oz. And if this guy plays his cards right, New England Wildlife and More all wandering around at the Radiohead after party. That's my point, is that it's going to be like Tom York meet New England Wildlife and More. He's going to be like, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Okay, so let's and like Tom York's gonna be like, oh, I love your videos, like, because I have a lot of time off because I'm rich, so I'm really looking for content, and I love that your videos are so long.
Right, it's kind of like Mick Jagger doing a photo shoot at every location at every city he's visiting on tour.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Well, it's making him look senile. You know what I mean? I feel like it looks like they take him out of a crate and put him up, like set him up like a cutout in front of these things. He's like, I don't want to stand here. They're like, shut up, Mick. What are you going to do about it? He's like, I don't know. All right, the show's almost over. So let's let this thing rip.
Just to make sure that this is going to happen totally accurately, I'm going to do another test strip too. Just in case.
Okay, yeah, maybe skip ahead. Eric. That's okay. So he's dumping it out. I gotta say, this is the thing. It's not that mysterious. Cans are designed to keep things for a long time. They're under pressure. It looks basically like corn. It is interesting that this was supposed to be eaten in 1930. So this was supposed to be eaten by like
you can't pick it up with a dropper. Maybe on the edge.
It's
Yeah, I
supposed to
can
be
get some
eaten
from
by
the
like
edge.
a person during the Depression.
I want to put a drop of that onto
So
a
yeah,
slide.
fast forward it further. Let's see him eat it. I just want to see him eat it because I like what. Oh, he likes to show himself putting stuff down the drain, and his fans are like, "I like the drain part." That's where we're at as a culture. They're like, "Show more of you pouring it down the drain." That's the one thing I'd say. I love your videos, but I would just wish you would stay longer on the drain. Nothing wrong with our culture. Totally normal.
Yeah, people don't vote. They watch this video instead.
Yeah, and they vote on the video. I like it when you do the corn, but could you show more close-ups of the corn? Thank you, Hannah in Idaho.
Dying. You see all
Big
the corrosion
fan.
around the side. It looks like
Okay,
the
just get to
corrosion-
where he eats it. Yeah, this goes on forever. I mean, it's
but really no life. I found some things that I think are bacteria, but really no life.
that's as good as it gets as far as his science goes. I found some things that I think might be
Okay,
bacteria.
this is from
but
that
really
big
no.
drop of actual cream corn I put onto the slide. It's just about the same stuff I had from the smear. It's just about the same stuff I had from the smear. Seeing pretty much the same stuff.
These videos have like 190,000 views on it, just in case you were wondering.
All that is a testament to how many people are on the internet.
Yep. And I'm one of them. I found this guy during the pandemic, and I was thankful. I was like, this rules.
God knows how you actually watch this
Plant
show.
cells you're
I
seeing
like
all
it. You know, I like it
over
better
the
than like
big
trap rap,
round things are just
for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If I'm going
and
to
I
pass my
listen to-
time,
Yeah, I listen to Little
I
Peep.
can't listen to that shit.
No,
I can't
wonder
listen
what
to
those
trap
things
rap,
are.
but I
Got
can
me
watch this. Huh?
You got me there.
Well, you know, I mean, it's yeah. I feel like it's like okay, I get it. You like to party. I mean, that's the message of trap rap. Like I party and I have guns and I'm rich. And this guy, you know, he's just like I don't know what this stuff under the microscope is. It's the same stuff. It's just a, you know, modern entertainment. Okay, so there it is. Let's get a nice shot of that. Can you hover that? Because that's what we need for the fucking. Can you get that one with the print back on the? Okay, so I'm gonna put this up so we have a nice thing for the Instagram here. I'm insane. I am truly insane. I just was gonna hold up the cold brew and I realized I've lost my fucking mind. By the way, we don't have any money because I realized we have to have subs or else I read a very depressing article about Twitch that people on this thing do not make much money. It's all dependent on the generosity of their viewers. Like I was under the impression that if we got enough viewers, like Twitch would start cutting us checks, but I do not think that's correct. But anyway, I don't think we're going to ever make any money without subs. But I guess we could have a sponsor. Anyway, okay, so let's watch the last video and then we'll get out of here. But yeah, let's watch the what was the last one? Oh yeah, this is very funny and
This
it'll
doesn't
take
need
us
much
out.
comment really. This last
Yeah,
one.
this is okay. Just for people listening at home, this is a guy who's, or a woman or whoever the fuck, or a monster or the devil who is driving this car and doesn't know how to use a U-Haul trailer or is like on Thorazine or who knows what.
I don't know why the thing doesn't burst into flames. All that friction on the road.
Well, actually, if you hear the actual, Eric's keeping the sound down. It's a horrible noise it's making. I mean, this person who's driving this car that's dragging this fucking U-Haul trailer
On its side.
must be the devil. I have a feeling it's actually Satan. Because if you have something like that happening behind you and you don't register it, then you are either undead or I would assume undead. I mean, I think it's the skeleton driving the
Cue the bloody fool sound effect.
Is it over? Oh yeah, this is a little louder this time, huh? Yeah, here you go. I mean, okay. Pause it. Okay, well, this is the end of the show, but I just quickly want to discuss this just for a second. So, and I'm sorry I have to keep saying this, but I do think if you are listening to the show, you probably don't have any idea what the hell's going on. But someone's towing one of those U-Haul trailers, but the thing is fallen over onto its side. It's not on its wheels. It's fallen over. And this car, which is a fairly normal looking car, it's not like a 1970 Nova with like, rust all over it. It's like a pretty normal looking car. It's dragging the U-Haul trailer, not on wheels, but on its sides. So it's like throwing off sparks. It's grinding. It's making a tremendous amount of noise. And this person who's making the video kind of pulls up next to them to try and let them know, like, hey, or sure, gesture at them and say, listen, you're not. But I mean, if someone hasn't already noticed it, there's no point to pointing something like this out. I mean, it's like if you were dragging, I don't know. There's no need. I mean, the reason why I think Satan himself is driving this car is because if you're dragging something that's making that much noise and you're not registering it, you don't really need to tell the person. Like, I just picture him pulling up alongside them and just seeing Satan and then just backing up, like, hey, you have okay. Like, I mean, it's gotta be, speaking of John Wayne Gacy, I mean, what's in that trailer? I'm guessing human blood. It's just totally packed full. I mean, what is in there really?
Well, there's a dent in the trunk of the car that's towing the U-Haul. So it looks like there was some kind of accident, and he's decided just to say fuck it and keep driving.
Oh, maybe that's what it is, because maybe it's just a drunk person. I mean, it's the middle of the day though, so you don't necessarily think about people being drunk so much during the day. But yeah, this guy or this woman could be drunk and just drag. I mean, I went to White Castle and ran over a curb drunk, and drove home on a rim, and everybody was pointing at me and I didn't want to hear it, because I knew about it already. I was driving on a rim. There's no tire there. And everybody was
What
like,
town was
hey, Nashville.
Wow.
Before you moved there.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, it was a very, I mean, I'm not proud of this.
Day, huh?
Well, what happened is I was drunk. I got drunk at the Springwater, it's this bar in Nashville, dive bar. I went there every day for like 3 years or longer, probably about 3 years every day. And then, and I'd have like 8 or 9 beers, and then I would get in the car and I drove. One night I was like, I'm going to stop at White Castle and get some food. And I fell asleep, I think, in the line, because it was kind of a long line. It was like a Saturday night or something. And I guess the car was in drive, and I went over this big curb and like almost like went into the woods. But then I woke up, and then I was like, oh my God. And with the car going over this humongous curb. It was not a small curb. It was like a giant curb. So it like tore the tire off. And then I backed up and I was like, I got to get out of here, because I realized like, oh no, I shouldn't be, now I'm fucked. Everybody thinks I'm drunk. But I was pretty far from home. I was like at least 10, 15 minutes from home. And there was nothing but main roads to take. I mean, this is right. And this is a testament to how empty Nashville was. I drove all the way home on a bare rim, and the whole way people were pointing at me. And I was like, I knew already that I didn't have a tire. I just didn't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what's happening with this person, except this is a little bit more dramatic because the whole thing it's not really more dramatic, actually. Yeah, it's not really that much more dramatic. Although I bet I was getting better gas mileage on that bare rim than this person's getting dragging this fucking humongous. I mean, the gas mileage, I can only imagine how badly it's affecting the gas mileage. I mean, he's dragging essentially, or she is dragging, I mean, it's the trailer itself doesn't affect gas mileage, but once it falls over, you're talking about with no wheels. I mean, you got to be figuring it's cutting your gas mileage in half. And imagine the cop pulling this car over. Hello, how are you? They're like, what? And the cop's like, well, your U-Haul trailer is having some trouble back there. And then the person's like, how's it supposed to be? I was wondering why it was so rough. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Let's look on the chat room just for a minute here. It's held on by a chain, someone says. The best ZZ Top song, Master of Sparks. Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Gimlins, Power Directors, everybody who comes and watches. And don't forget to sub, even though I don't really know what it means.